I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better.
Jesus.
I am better.
It's so over. It's so over. What the fuck is that? Kinda cringe, dude. Ain't no way. Bruh. Pro gamer move. Okay. What happened? I blacked out. Jesus. It's so over. It's so over. What the fuck is that? Kinda. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Bria with the first You're Better, Faster, Stronger, as we all knew. Despite your size, you are mighty. That's what we say around here. Welcome in, Bria. What did you sign in with today? You're signing on the guest list. You've done it 13 times. Bravo. Lucky number 13. You wrote your shopping list, but it was nothing but eggplants, cucumbers, and carrots. Interesting. Next we have Stacy. Hello, Stacy. Long time no see. Hope you are doing well. And you also drew something with... that's pretty on track for you, what I know about you, Stacy. Don't worry about it, boy. Oh, you're right, you're right. Well, welcome in, welcome in. How is everyone doing this lovely Monday? Today's Monday, right? Yeah, today's Monday. Hope y'all are having a great day. That's fair. I'm doing good, I'm doing good. We're doing something a little bit different than my normal gaming content today. I've been working on trying to learn Blender for a little while now. Also, it looks like I have a haircut. I don't. My hair's just wet. Hold on. There you go. It's there. It's wet and pulled back. Ooh, my wife. Hello, my wife. Today they played tic-tac-toe and lost themselves. Yikes, dude. You worked out today and you feel unstoppable. Hell yeah, Bria. Hell yeah. What'd you hit? What'd you hit? Did you, was it an arm day, a leg day? Was it a run day? Every day's run day for me, brother. Hell yeah. But that's awesome though, Bria. Happy to hear that. But yeah, I've been trying to learn Blender for the past few days. I've been doing a tutorial. That's what I'm going to be doing today for a couple hours, just hanging out. He did legs. 230 on leg press. Oh my god. I think that if I tried to do that, my legs right at my shins would just shatter. It would just explode. That would be insane. I pray, listen, pray for Bria's legs tomorrow. She will not be able to walk. She does not know what she has done. My legs are my pride. Hey, let's go. Listen. Everyone has their thing, dude. Everyone has their thing. Perfect. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I've been trying to learn Blender. I've been following a tutorial to make donuts. Apparently it's a really popular thing just to learn like the basics of Blender. By the way, if you guys don't know what Blender is, it's just a 3D modeling and animation software. So I've been working with that. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. I worked out today, Bria. I went for a run. And I went for 2 runs actually today. And it was about 92 degrees out, and I think I almost died. It was pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. I need to invest in a like a walk pad or something. Oh, Bats is a 3D printer. Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm sure you can use like Blender stuff to make 3D products. My idea that I wanted to do was I have all the stories and stuff that I've been working on. Even though I don't read them out loud anymore, really, I still am working on them behind the scenes a lot, and I'm doing like little things here and there. And so I wanted to do something with that, kind of those stories in that world, whether it's build out scenes from it in 3D, or I can make animations with it eventually. There's all sorts of stuff that Blender can do. It's just a matter of like learning the controls to it and stuff, because it's a lot of like shortcuts and like a lot of X, Y, and Z access stuff. And I was in not smart math, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. Let's see, should I put on this screen? This is the actual animation software right here. Should I do this screen, or should I just do the full screen like this? I might just do the full screen like this. But anyway, yeah, this is so let me show you the progress real quick here of what I've got. So this is the first donut I made. Okay, just a donut. If we press F12, we can render it, and it's a donut. God, why is that so zoomed in on my face, bro? Hold on. I didn't realize it was gonna be so zoomed on me. Jesus. I just messed with my camera settings recently. Hold on. I gotta fix that. There we go. Okay. Anyway, that was my first donut attempt. And then each time I made like a milestone on it, I saved it as a new file. So this is donut number 2. I gave it like a little glaze, basically. Which if we show this in render mode, there we go. That's what that looked like. So kind of wonky still, not gonna lie. Not great. But listen, it's coming along. Next we do third donut. Third donut is right here. And let me do render mode on this. So again, it's kind of a similar thing. And then the one that I worked on yesterday is fourth donut. And fourth donut so far has been my masterpiece thus far. Because where's render mode at? Is this render mode? Ugh, I don't like that. There we go. So this is the fourth donut that I've been making. I need to still add like sprinkles and stuff to it. But if you look at it, this is the camera view of it. So if I take a screenshot of it, that's what it looks like. So yeah, I've been working on that, trying to understand this tool, man. And I'm following a tutorial, so I'll have that playing in the background with some music and stuff. But that's basically what we're gonna be doing, just hanging out. Don't mind that it clips through the it does still say Halo? Oh, it does, thank you. I forgot to change that part. There we go. It should be updated here in a second. I don't stream as often as I used to. I'd be forgetting how to do stuff. But yeah, don't worry about it clipping through. That's whatever. Now the final product is supposed to look like this. Can you see that? Eventually, it's gonna look like that. I'm currently at this step. But eventually it's gonna look like this. This is all rendered in Blender. Everything on this is rendered completely in Blender. And so I think that if I could get to that point, it'd be pretty sick. Let me play the music in the background. Let me just have that on. Let me know if that's a good volume too. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at right now. I had to paint, last time I had to paint these little like lighter spots on it. And then with the little gooiness, and then see, something that I really like about this is like if I go into here, so all these little lines, these little dots, these are called vertices. You can actually grab these and actually edit them. So like, for example, I just I just did that. So now there's just a random like long piece sticking out, which will undo that. But that's basically how I created this. And you could even go into like, what is it? X-ray mode, I think. This one, where is it? I don't remember. Is it here? Or is it just this? Oh, there you go. There's X-ray mode. Which I didn't realize at the time I had. I guess I did something at some point where I brought the the inside really far inward. So it's clipping through it. But hey, you can't see it from the outside, so I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, you can't even see it, so who cares, dude, right? But anyway, yeah, that's basically what I'm doing around here. Sick. But yeah, let me pull this over here, maybe. I want to be able to still see chat. There we go. Perfect. Okay.
The time has finally
Oh my god, he's loud, dude.
come to decorate our delicious looking donut
Hell yeah.
with some sprinkles.
Oh, dude,
So
I'm
the
ready.
feature we need for that is called Geometry Nodes, and you can access it by going to the top of your screen. If you don't see
Hayes, welcome in, Hayes. How you doing today, buddy? You like his voice? Yeah, he's got a good voice. He's got a good voice. If I could show the video on screen, I would, but I don't know how to do. I guess I could probably figure it out. Hold on, let me see. I bet I can figure it out. Give me a sec. Let me see. Can I add a secondary display capture and capture my other screen or something? Or I could do a source capture maybe. Video capture, window capture. Let's try that. I'm just gonna see. No, I don't want to capture that Firefox though. I'm not gonna be able to see chat if I do that though. Give me a second. I have an idea for something. Give me a sec. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all get in the back seat of my background for a moment. Where he is. Right, 6. So what if I put that there? Okay. And then what if I hold on. Like that. That'll be the video in the corner, I guess. So, you know, for reference, he'll be up here in the corner. I'll be over here. I think that'll work. The only thing I need to make sure of is that pull this over here. This is going to come over here like so. Perfect. Okay, I'm getting it. Boom. Easy. Light work. No drink.
just middle mouse drag across, and you'll see the tab.
I can still see
Geometry
everyone.
Nodes.
It's good.
Oh, so
All right, let me restart him. Hold on.
Geometry Nodes, and you can access it by going to the top of your screen.
Shading,
if you don't see
rendering.
it, just middle mouse drag across, and you'll see the tab
Geometry
Nodes.
Okay.
Oh,
Ew.
so it's adjusted your screen layout. Don't get disorientated. Your donut is still there. This screen on the left here, it's called the spreadsheet. Never needed it. Touch on wood, never will. So we can just close that. Right click, join areas, and then just collapse it into it. Okay. So with your
close area?
icing selected, click the new button. So welcome to the world of Geometry Nodes.
I don't like that.
So Geometry Nodes
I like
is
geometry.
actually a modifier. So when we hit new there, we've added in a modifier called
Right, over
Geometry
here.
Nodes. And what the modifier is doing is whatever we want it to. Okay. So what this section down here is, this is a node-based system, and it looks familiar, right? You got boxes with little lines, and it's the exact same type of system that was used in our materials, right? But it's a
Yes.
completely different system. Okay, so the same nodes will not be referenced between the completely different systems.
Okay.
So the way this works is our mesh that we've got here of our icing is what is being represented on the left-hand side with your input. It's then taking that mesh and it's feeding it all the way to the right, and it's going to spit out whatever is in your group output. So
Okay.
currently nothing has changed because there's nothing between those points. But if I was, for example, don't follow me, but just as an example, if I was to add a set position node, drop this in here, and then change the position of the icing along the Z axis, you can see it's raised it. Okay, now the mesh, if I go into edit mode, is still there. The mesh has not changed. We're not actually moving the object. This is just happening
We're pretty far
after
into
the
it
fact
by now,
via
Bria.
a modifier. Okay, now obviously this would be
But
a
yeah,
rather
it is a
pointless
lot.
use for geometry nodes to move it, because you could just move it. But as an example, let's say, I don't know, you had a scene where lots of objects, some of them are raised, some of them are not, and you wanted to quickly change them. What you could do with geometry nodes, in this case, you could actually expose this offset value by dragging it to the left over here. And when you do that, you can see it's now appeared over here in our modifier stack. What that means is whenever I'm in another part of Blender, say I'm like building stuff, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to quickly, change the height of that icing, I've got it there whenever I need to. So essentially, this system enables you to build up your own tool that does something that you want it to do in a really flexible way. So it's really powerful. And before geometry nodes, I mean, Blender was kind of limited in what you can do, but I'll throw some examples here. But in the last 2 years since it's been in Blender, people have done some wild stuff with it.
Bro, people are amazing,
and
dude.
most of this stuff really was just not possible in Blender before without doing custom scripting. So it's really opened up the doors. So
That's sick.
it is a very different system. Like, it's a different way of working than just hands-on in 3D, but it's a really flexible, really valuable system. So any time spent learning geometry nodes, I think, is time well spent. So we want to do sprinkles, and to do that we need to first of all scatter some points onto our mesh. So to do that, hit Shift A for add, and then we're looking for point, distribute points on faces. Okay. And then it's just it's just going to put you in a placement state. And if you just mouse over that line there till it lights up, if you click, it's going to automatically connect it for you. And now you can see we've got points on our icing and a density value. Great. But you might notice the icing has actually disappeared.
Yes. Yes.
Now the reason for that is we've told it, okay, take that icing object and convert it into points, and then just give us the points back. Okay. So what we need to do is say, yes, we want the points, but we also want the original mesh. So we can do that by adding in a node that you use all the time, which is Shift A, Geometry, Join Geometry. So you'll find this node in probably any geometry nodes tutorial. Very versatile. So drop it in here after the points, and you'll notice this input here is a different shape. So normally inputs are circles or triangles or whatnot. This one is a long and elongated shape to signify that it can accept multiple inputs. So unlike these where you can only accept one, this can accept many. So what we need to do is take the output of our original mesh and then feed it over to here. And now we have both the original mesh and we have our points, and they're being combined together and then put into our
That's
output.
sick.
Okay. Very cool. Awesome. All right. So if we were to give this a render right now, you would actually see nothing, because these points don't physically exist. They just exist in the 3D space. If we want them to show up in the render, we have to tell it, what do you want to render them as? So for that, we need to add an object to be our sprinkle. So your sprinkle could be whatever you want. We're actually going to make two different types of sprinkles in this donut series. So we're going to start though with a very simple one, just a round ball.
Okay.
So just like you would add another object normally, Shift A, and then go Mesh, and then go UV Sphere. Now this.
Sorry, I need to see where did he click on?
Just a round ball. So just like you would add another object normally, Shift.
Okay, he's clicked up here. Oh shoot.
A, and then go Mesh, and then go UV Sphere. Now, this sphere is going to be referenced for every single sprinkle. Okay, so we want to go as low res as we can get away with. So I'm going to go with 12 segments and then 8 rings. If you're on a really slow computer and you think this is really going to suffer later on, you could go even.
Hold on, what the fuck? I feel like he'd be skipping stuff sometimes.
Now, this sphere is going to be referenced for, and just like you would add another object normally, Shift A.
Shift A. UV sphere, right? That's what he said. He said to add that, okay.
and then go mesh, and then go UV sphere. Now, this sphere is going to be referenced for every single sprinkle. Okay, so we want to go as low res as we can get away with. So I'm going to go with 12 segments and then 8 rings. If you're on a really slow computer and you think this is really going to suffer later on, you could go even lower, but I don't want to go too low because otherwise we're going to see that jagged edge because it's a rounded form. So I don't want to go too much lower than that. But I do want to adjust the scale because obviously this needs to be a tiny little sprinkle. So let's go 0.01. Okay, awesome. All right, now with our icing selected again, you'll notice, by the way, that if you click another object, you don't see your nodes because it's only going to show you the active object's geometry nodes. So if you want the nodes to just be there no matter what, if you click the pin button there, that means no matter what is selected, it's only going to be showing you this object's the one that we pinned geometry nodes. Okay. All right.
Hey, thanks for the work, Bria.
To reference, we need to reference that little sphere that we've just created in our geometry node system. And you can do it very easily just by dragging down from your outliner up here, just dragging it down into your geometry nodes and dropping it. Okay. So now let's just create some room here. Make a little bit of space. Okay. And what I need to do is add another node to reference this object. And the node is Shift A, instances, instances on points, the top one. Okay, and then I want to drop it in here between distribute points on faces and my join geometry. So drop it in right there till it lights up. Now the points have disappeared because we're now saying replace those points with whatever is in that instance input. So I'm going to take my geometry from my object info and drag it into the instance.
Hold on, buddy. Hold on. You're saying a lot of words. He's saying a lot of words and I'm not understanding a single goddamn thing.
Shift A, instances, instances on point.
Instances on points. Got it.
The to do.
Let me back out just a little bit. Let me make this a little bit better like that. Okay, there you go. So he's got this down here. I'm just trying to follow along with him as best as I can.
Is add another node to reference this object. And the node is Shift A, instances, instances on points, the top one. Okay, and then I want to drop it in here between distribute points on faces and my join geometry. So drop it in right there till it lights up.
Okay.
Now the points have disappeared because we're now saying replace those points with whatever is in that instance input. So I'm going to take my geometry from my object info and drag it into the instance. And look at that.
Oh!
We have got our spheres appearing all over. And if I increase the density...
Guys, I think the... I fucked up. I fucked up bad. All right, hold on. Oh, Lord. Is there a way, just out of curiosity here, is there a way that I can edit that?
Skill issue.
All right, you don't have to be rude about it. I done goofed. I done goofed bad. I thought that was a lot smaller than it was. Oh no. Oh no. I should have listened to him. Shoot. Is there a way to edit that? Without me having to go all the way back? Oh, there is, I think. Hold on. Maybe... that, maybe? That's that's the resize. I don't need to resize it though. Shoot. Shoot. Damn, okay. I'm just gonna go back all the way until Alright, let me go back. That sucks. I gotta go all the way back. Sucks. Am I just gonna have to restart this? God, that'd be annoying. All right, let me just delete that out then. Just kidding. Huh. Huh. He has so many, like, it looks good like this. Damn. I done goofed bad. All right. We're restarting. I'm going to try to remember everything he said, which really hasn't been that much so far. I think we'll be fine. Okay, let me restart. Open recent fourth. Don't save. Okay. All right, sick. So we're here. Here's my donut. He said go to geometry nodes. He said this. Close that area. Okay. So then it was Tabby. Welcome in, Tabby. How you doing? Hope all is well with you. I might have to restart this a little bit, but that's fine. Okay, we'll start from right there. How you doing, Tabby? Okay, I'm doing some 3D modeling today. That's what I've been doing. Here's my if I show you, this is what I've made so far. Made a donut in 3D, so that's pretty sick. You're alive? Well, that's good to hear. You're alive. I'm doing well. Doing well. I royally butchered. It's what you've been trying to. I don't know what you mean.
The time has finally come to deck feature we need for that.
Huh? Oh, Chase tries. Yeah, true. You could never. It's definitely tough. It's definitely. I literally have to restart the tutorial I was watching because I completely goofed something. I haven't had it done yet. The little procedure happens on Thursday, so it hasn't happened yet. But I'm sure it'll be fine. They're just gonna put me to sleep and take a look at my stomach and stuff. So yeah, it'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it overall. I've had it done before, so it's no biggie. No, it's this upcoming Thursday. I had to schedule it out quite a ways. All this. Sorry, I'm checking my phone for something. But yeah, it's this coming Thursday. Okay, let me.
So with your icing selected, click the new button.
New. Okay.
So welcome to the world of geometry nodes.
Yeah.
So geometry nodes is actually a modifier. So
let me see if I can remember this. Hold on. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can remember this. It was Shift A. It was geometry. No, it was instances. No, it was point. Distribute points on faces. Yeah. Okay. We're good. I remember that part. That's good. And then it was the input here is geometry. You're saying it's a mesh. The mesh is turning to points, so it's actually removed the icing up here and done this output as geometry. There's two more nodes that I can't recall from the tutorial earlier. I will just watch.
When we hit new there,
we're gonna watch the Aussie here and follow along.
Added in a modifier called geometry nodes.
Right.
And what the modifier is doing is
over here on the right.
Whatever we want it to. Okay. So what this section down here is, this is a node-based system, and it looks familiar, right? You got boxes with little lines. And it's the exact same type of system that was used in our materials, right?
Yep,
but
I
it's
remember
a completely different system, okay? So the same nodes will not be referenced between the completely different systems. So the way this works is our mesh that we've got here of our icing is what is being represented on the left-hand side with your input.
Right.
It's then taking that mesh and it's feeding it all the way to the right, and it's going to spit out whatever is in your group output. So currently, nothing has changed because there's nothing between those points. But if I was, for example, don't follow me, but just as an example, if I was to add a set position node, drop this in here, and then change the position of the icing along the Z axis, you can see
yeah, I remember
raised
this.
it.
Oh,
okay.
I
Now
didn't
the
mean
mesh,
to
if I go into edit
whole thing. Good
mode,
Lord.
is still there. The geometry say what you could do with geometry nodes in this case, you could actually expose, see in a then examples here, but with it in Blender before. With
So
in the
sick,
last
dude. I can't
2
wait to be able
years
to make
since
shit
it's,
like
been,
that.
but I'll throw some
That's so
examples here,
cool.
but
So
in the last
cool.
2 years since it's been in Blender, people have done some wild stuff with it.
That's so cool.
Most of this stuff really was just not possible in Blender before.
I
Without
can't
doing
wait
custom
to be
scripting.
able to
So
do stuff like
it's
this,
really opened
dude.
up the doors. So it is a very different system. Like, it's a different way of working than, you know, just hands-on in 3D. But it's a really flexible, really valuable system. So any time spent learning geometry nodes, I think, is time well spent. So we want to do sprinkles, and to do that, we need to first of all scatter some points onto our mesh,
Which I've done.
So to do that, hit Shift A for add, and then we're looking for point distribute points on faces. Okay.
Yep, I did
and then
that.
it's just put it.
Put it on the line.
Put you in a placement state, and if you just mouse over that line there till it lights up, if you click, it's going to automatically connect it for you. And now you can see we've got points on our icing and a density value. Great. But
how did you come to try to learn Blender ADHD next hobby? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't part of it for sure. It's something I've been interested in for a long time. No time like the present to try to learn it, I guess. So, yeah, that's I just would like to be able to learn it. I have all this creative, like these creative ideas, but I don't have any other than the writing of things. Like, I can write really well, but there's no like physical medium there. So I wanted to be able to put a physical medium to like things that I create with writing and stuff. And so that's where I thought this could be kind of a cool tool to learn. Plus, it'd just be good to know and have this kind of skill set in my back pocket. But yeah, so partially ADHD, partially I've been thinking about it for a long time.
you might notice the icing has actually disappeared. Ooh. Now the reason for that is we've told it, okay, take that icing object and convert it into points, and then just give us the points back. Okay, so what we need to do is say, yes, we want the points, but we also want the
Have you tried learning
mesh.
Blender before, Tabby? I know you're more of a physical medium artist, but I'm just curious if you ever tried. So normal chase tries to be best everywhere. Yeah, it's why limit yourself? You know what I mean? Why limit yourself to one medium when you can try to learn everything? That's what I say. What up, Rami? How you doing? How you doing? Daniel, welcome in. Yes, Rami, I'm trying to learn Blender. This is what I got so far. Are you ready? I made this. Oh, hold on. Wrong button. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay, ready? Oh. Those are supposed to be sprinkles. We're getting back to it. We're getting back to it, all right? But yeah, I've been really wanting to learn it for a minute, Rami. Do you know Blender pretty well? How you doing, Daniel? How you doing? Yeah, I'm watching. You'll see in. I don't remember if the camera's flipped or not. One of the corners. I'm in one of the corners, and then the tutorial I'm watching is in the other corner. So I'm kind of following along with this tutorial just to kind of get a full course overview of what it's,
So we can do that by
Why's
adding
that?
in.
Hold on, why does that look like that? There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to just get like a tutorial. And this is like a 5-hour-long course, and I'm about almost 2 hours in. So, and I remember very little of it. I'm probably gonna have to do a second run through on this off stream, you know. But yeah, I've been having a good time with it for sure. We got ads in 5 minutes. All right, sick. There we go. Okay. I've been using Blender for a bit now for work. Nice, nice. Yeah, I literally just picked it up a couple days ago, so I'm trying. I'm trying to get a grasp. There's so many like different shortcuts and stuff that you have to remember, and like little keyboard shortcuts and all this different stuff, and I'm trying to get it all in my brain, and it's tough. but it's cool making something. That's been kind of the coolest part to me. I was saying earlier that I really would want to, the whole reason I wanted to kind of get into Blender animation and stuff is for, I have all those different stories and things, and I have no physical medium outside of like AI made art, which I kind of feel guilty about using. So I would like to be able to craft my own things, even if it's just little, scenes and stuff. I would like to be able to do that myself. I'm a terrible, I'm not a great artist when it comes to drawing things. And so but I was okay in ceramics back in the day. So I thought, maybe making digital ceramics might be the way to go. So I don't know. I'm definitely trying my best though. All right, let me see if I can get back into this.
And node that you use all the time, which is Shift A, Geometry, Join Geometry.
That's
so
what it was.
You'll find this node
Yeah.
in probably any Geometry Nodes
Shift
tutorial.
A,
Very versatile.
Geometry.
So drop it in here after the points.
Yep.
And you'll notice this input here.
That video is a good beginner project. He explains everything so well and all the shortcuts too. Yes, yeah, he's been really, really good. And he has on here somewhere, I think it's probably in the description. He's got his Discord in here. He's got the cheat sheet in here you can download and stuff. Like, he's been super, super, super helpful. Yes, this is my first project, Rami. I didn't know you used Blender. If you don't mind sharing, what do you kind of use it for? Like modeling? I mean, I can't even imagine what you would use it for. I feel like the possibilities are so endless with it, But yeah, this is my very first one to answer the question.
It's a different shape. So normally inputs are circles or triangles or whatnot. This one is a long and elongated shape to signify that it can accept multiple inputs. So unlike these where you can only accept one, this can accept many. So what we need to do is take the output of our original mesh and then feed it over to here.
Right, I did that earlier.
And now we have both the original mesh and we have our points, and they're being combined together and then put into our output. Okay.
Got it.
Very cool. Awesome.
Easy peasy.
All right. So if we were to give this a render right now, you would actually see nothing because these points don't physically exist. They just exist in the 3D space. So we want them to show up in the render. We have to tell it, what do you want to render them as? So for that, we need to add an object to be our sprinkle. So your sprinkle could be whatever you want. We're actually going to make two different types of sprinkles in this donut series. So we're going to start though with a very simple one, just a round.
I'm glad I got a pro here though in Rami.
Just like you would
I'd be
add another
messing up
object
constantly.
normally. Shift A and then go mesh and then go UV
Mesh,
sphere.
UV
Now,
sphere. Okay.
this sphere is going to be
my God.
referenced for every single sprinkle. Okay,
I think drop that down to
we wanna
12 is what he wants.
As low res as
then
we can get away
8.
with. So I'm going to go with 12 segments and then 8 rings. If you're on a really slow computer and you think this,
I could never, I guess, because somehow it's too complicated. It's definitely got its complexities for sure. But Tabby, to me, what you do with drawing such highly detailed stuff is super complex. Like, I look at that and I go, that's insane. I don't know how your brain sees a thing and recreates it so perfectly. That's wild to me. I use it to create models for a company I work for, and I also help create parts for 3D printing. Nice, nice. That's awesome. There's a lot of things she makes require custom parts that need to be printed. So, gotcha. That's really cool, Rami. I imagine they have to be super specific too. Like, there's a lot of math and stuff that I've been noticing with this, and I'm not very good at math, but I'm trying my best to learn it. Thank you for the hydrate, Daniel. Or maths, as you Brits would
this
say.
is really going to suffer.
I'm not an expert though. Nah, you are. It's for me. I can't create something. I just copy pictures. I see a picture, I can copy that. No, I mean, I guess that, I don't know, it makes sense, I suppose. It's definitely like the appealing thing to me about Blender, or just any sort of animation software, or even just like a sculpting software, is like you can create whatever you want. And that to me is so cool. Yeah, I've been there. I ain't good with chemicals either. Turns out I accidentally created mustard. Yeah, you don't want to do that, buddy. You don't want to do that. That's I'm pretty sure that's like against the Geneva Convention. You shouldn't be doing that, Chief. Boy! What up, boy? Welcome in, buddy. How was the movie? All right, let me get back to this guy here.
Later on, you could go even lower, but I don't want to go too low because otherwise we're
think
going to see
he
that
wants-
jagged edge because it's a rounded form. So I don't want to go too much lower than that. But I do want to adjust the scale because obviously this needs to be a tiny little sprinkle. So let's go
0.01?
0.01.
It was good. I liked it. Nice, dude.
Awesome.
Point
All right, now
Oh,
with
point-
our icing selected again,
0.01
you'll notice, by the way, that if
like
you
that?
click another object, you don't see your nose because it's only going to show you the active object's geometry.
So you got to
nodes.
click on this again.
So if you want the nodes to just be there no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
if you click the pin button there, that means no matter what is selected, it's only going to be showing you this object's
Tabby is a
the one
pro
we
artist.
pinned, geometry nodes. Okay. All right. So to reference, we need to reference that little sphere that we've just created in our geometry node system. And you can do it very easily just by dragging down from your
Right, I remember this.
outline up here, just dragging it down into your
just
geometry
gonna put it
nodes
over here.
and dropping it. Okay. So now let's just create some room here. Make a little bit of space. Okay. And what I need to do is add another node to reference this object. And the node is Shift A, instances on points,
On
the top one.
I remember that.
Okay, and then I want to drop it in here between distribute points on faces and my join geometry. So drop it in right there until it lights up. Now the points have disappeared
then
because we're now
geometry
saying
goes
replace those points
to
with whatever is in that
instance.
instance input.
Boom.
So I'm going to take my geometry from my object info and drag it.
I
into the
did
instance.
it. I did
And look
it.
at that. We have got our spheres appearing.
Oh
If I increase the
man.
density, we've got
Creepers.
sprinkles. And if I do a
Aw,
render, it will actually
man.
display. Doesn't look very good. Hey, but it does work, which is the main
Oh,
thing
dude,
right
we
now.
got it. Look.
Okay, so
Look it.
first
We
things
did it.
First, you'll notice that as I
Oh.
increase the density.
Ah. Sorry, guys, dude. There's the dopamine hits you get when you finally do something right. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. I've never felt more accomplished in my life. All right. Anyway, sorry, what happened? Blacked out. Sick.
First problem is that they're crowding each other. They are straight up overlapping each other with no respect for its fellow sprinkle, right? Because it's just a random distribution. So we can change that by going here in our distribute points on faces, change it from random distribution to Poisson distribution. Poisson. What a name.
I was definitely, I definitely would have
it's
read that as piss on. Piss, poisson.
Changed, but that's just because it's changed your density max. so
Practically there already, dude. I'm
just
saying.
increase it again. With this Poisson disk distribution, you get this extra value here, distance min. So now if we can set a low value, we can start to delete. It's almost like each one of those points now is going to have a little radius around it. And if it detects a point within that radius, it's going to delete it. So we just need to increase it slowly, very, very slowly, until we can't see them intersecting anymore. To about there, honestly. If you go too high, like if you really wanted to make sure they weren't touching, you go really high.
Hold on, let me
But
just
it
add
starts
more.
to look like too evenly spaced, you know?
Sick.
Like, yeah, it's not actually registering
And
the
then
other
switch
objects.
back
It's
to
like it's just
this.
doing this little radius thing, which just happens to be perfect for a ball-shaped object.
0.01.
But it's not like an advanced, like it's going to try to fill in all the gaps for you.
It doesn't really have that
you just
many.
I usually set it to like
He speaks like me, completely confused by English. He's even a different accent in English. How? Oh. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I'm cool with it not being like super overdone, you know? Like I think that even looks pretty good. To me anyway.
a little bit of clipping is okay, but I don't want there to be too much. But let's go.
Yeah, I think I'm cool with
something
that.
like that.
I think I'm
we'll
cool with
actually
that.
adjust this later on. I'm just doing it just for this point. All right, a much bigger problem, if I hit Control Tab to go full screen here, if I look at my mesh, I've got sprinkles everywhere. And in fact, I've actually got sprinkles underneath the icing. And that's not good, because it's actually going to put that in the render. Even though you won't see it, your computer is going to use resources to render little individual balls underneath the
I didn't
icing,
think about that.
which is not what we want, obviously. So, going back here, what we need to do to fix this is we need to do weight painting, okay? It's not texture painting, it's a special thing called weight painting. So with your icing selected, if you go from your object mode, you'll see one there called weight paint. Now, your mesh will become blue, and weight paint is actually referenced in multiple parts of Blender. Like if you're doing rigging and animation, you would use weight painting a lot during the rigging step to assign values to certain bones. Essentially what it's doing is it's allowing you to paint a value between 0 and 1 onto any part of the mesh, and then reference that however you want. So we can then reference that weight paint mask in our geometry nodes and use this almost as...
Did that make sense to anyone, what he just said? Bro said we can paint numbers onto it and reference it. That's what I heard. Brother, I don't want... I don't want... calm down. I don't want to paint numbers on it. I just want to remove sprinkles. The fuck?
between 0 and 1 onto any part of the mesh, and then reference that however you want. So we can then reference that weight paint mask in our geometry nodes and use this almost as, well, exactly as a mask for our sprinkles. So if we just do some paint right here on it, you'll see that we have some colors, right? Now these colors aren't going to appear in the render. It's just for you to visualize those values. The blue value means a value of 0, and the red value is a 0 of 1. I believe actually in maybe not the next version of Blender, but maybe the version, I don't know, but they're planning to change the colors of this. So depending on the value, on how late watching this you are, your colors might be
Mine
different
still looks
here,
the same.
but it should be the same. Essentially, you should have a brush of 1, and you should be able to paint from 0, which would give a blue value in this case, to a value of 1. So whatever is 1, whatever is red, is where our sprinkles will go. But you'll notice that this is not having any effect. Okay, so we need to reference it. Now, that weight paint that we just did is actually, if we go to our data tab here, it's actually a vertex group. Okay, so that's
What the fuck? Where is he at? I don't see that.
where, if we go to our data
Oh, down there.
tab here,
Okay.
it's actually a vertex group. Okay, so that's where that paint went. So you could actually create multiple weight paint types just by like creating them here. But we've just created one, and it's added one here for us. So we can give it a name by double clicking it, and let's call it Sprinkle Mask. Okay. In fact, is it a mask? It's more of a density, sprinkle density, I guess, because it's not a masking out. Anyway, all right, sprinkle density. Okay. And
I'm
where
not
I wanna
understanding, but I'm
reference this
following.
in my geometry node stack is in the distribute points on faces, there is one value here called density factor, which we got when we used the Poisson disk thing. And this is just a value of 0 to 1. Very convenient. So if I drag out from here and then release, I can add in a new node and it'll just automatically connect it. And the node that you're looking for is called the named attribute. Don't feel bad if you're like, well, how would I know that it's called the named attribute? Because it's called vertex groups over here. You think like, okay, I'm going to type in vertex group, but it's an attribute, but it's one of many attributes, and geometry nodes can do many things, so it's just called the named attribute. So anyways, all right, so underneath name, we're just going to click that box and you'll get a pop-up or pop
Sprinkle
down,
density.
and you're looking for sprinkle density. And there it is.
Bro, this is exactly... I mean, it's not... Boy, if you're still here, you remember when we were watching CS50? This is literally like I'm glad we went over this type of stuff in CS50. Because the moment I saw a float on there as the attribute type, I was like, oh. Yeah. It's basically just the if and then. This is just Wild.
Aha. So now going back into weight paint mode, we can act like an artist and put the sprinkles wherever we want, sprinkles on our donut, which is really cool. So sprinkles are typically, they're like on a plate, and then the wet donut with icing on it is just like dabbed onto it. So you get like a heavy amount of sprinkles right on the top like that, and then less around the sides.
I mean, that's cool. I didn't really add a lot to begin with. So I guess this doesn't really do the same thing, but I'll follow along for the tutorial.
Just for some variance. And then also, if you hold down Control, that will do so the weight that's being painted is 1, but if I hold down Control, it's going to do a negative value. And I can adjust my strength there as well, and I can just do some negative paints across it. Maybe a couple here as well.
Okay.
And I'm trying to deliberately make it look choppy, because I find that if you make it look too like uniform, then it just looks very boring and artificial.
I mean, I think mine looks
the
fine.
Real world would have
I'm gonna say it looks
more
okay.
sprinkles collecting in certain areas than others, right? Maybe it's just like wetter on that part, right? So more would stick to it.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think we're fine.
On that part of the plate as the donut was dabbed into it, right? You just kind of have to think of this stuff, because in the digital world, it's far too easy to make something that looks predictable and boring, and we don't want that. But anyway, something like that. And you could obviously finesse it and make it better than
You said
what
hold
it is,
Control to remove it?
You'll notice each of these spheres have a very jagged looking shape, and that's because the sphere itself down here. Oh, I don't think I mentioned this. If you want to quickly zoom to an object without having to find it and pan around, number pad period key. Probably should have mentioned that before, but haven't really needed it because we have not worked with that many objects. But that'll focus to that object. If you're on a laptop, by the way, if you hold down the tilde key, that'll bring up this section here, and then you've got view selected right there. So tilde is that key underneath your
Got it.
But anyways, so this is what our sphere looks like. So right click, shade smooth, and now all those sprinkles have a there. So tilde is that key underneath your
sphere. Boom. Boom. Okay. Sorry, what did you say? I didn't listen. I'm gonna be so for real.
If you're on a laptop, by the way, if you hold down the tilde key, that'll bring up this section here, and then you've got view selected right there. So tilde is that key underneath your escape key. But anyways, so this is what our sphere looks like. So right click, shade smooth, and now all those
Where the
sprinkles
fuck is
have
my
a
sphere? Hold on.
Shade smooth.
I know he just said how to get it, but like I don't see it. You know what I mean? Where is my sphere at? Brother? I am confusion. Where's my original sphere? Sphere. Is it like in the middle somewhere? No. Let me go back real quick.
Because the real world would have more sprinkles collecting in certain areas than others, right? Maybe it's just like wetter on that part, right? So more would stick to it.
Wetter.
Or more force was put on that part of the plate as the donut was dabbed into it, right? You just kind of have to think of this stuff, because in the digital world, it's far too easy to make something that looks predictable and boring, and we don't want that. But there we go, something like that. And you could obviously finesse it and make it better than what it is, but that's what we got. You'll notice each of these spheres have a very jagged looking shape, and that's because the sphere itself down here. Oh, I don't think I mentioned this. If you want to quickly zoom to an object without having to find it and pan around, number pad period key. Probably should have mentioned that before.
Okay. I found it.
But that'll focus to that object. If you're on a laptop, by the way, if you hold down the tilde key, that'll bring up this section here, and then you've got view.
Damn, it's small.
Right
it's real small. Oh my god.
Escape key. But anyways, so this is what our sphere looks like. So right click, shade smooth, and now all those sprinkles have a shade smooth.
Hey.
Very nice. All right. Now, let me just show you a quick little issue that you might run into. If you were to duplicate your donut and create 2, and then on the second donut, you're like, hey, I want to have some spice in my scene. I don't want to have the exact same count of sprinkles across both donuts. Let's give a different value to this one over here. Well, you can see that they are now sharing the same
because they're
value,
duplicates.
because this node group here is being linked across both objects. But if you wanted, I mean, you could like, you know, make it its own single object so that they're not linked, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that you could potentially try to group it as a separate attribute type.
if you wanted everything else to remain the same, so that let's say you know change the sprinkle at some point, that's preserved across it, but that one value you want to be different across multiple objects, you can expose it. So just like what I did at the start, if I drag out from the value I want to expose, and then I put it up to here in my group input, the empty slot, if I just release it, it's now disappeared, the value's disappeared from here, and it's now appeared in my modifier stack over here. And now I can put in a different value. So this has now got a value of 2000 and this one is 500. So essentially by
But what if you have
dragging
more
it out
than
and
two?
exposing it,
Oh, I
it's
see.
essentially removing the value from this node setup and saying this is its own separate thing, which is independent per object. And it has a two birds, one stone kind of effect, that it makes it more accessible. So in a completely different part of Blender, I'm working on my scene and I'm just very quickly giving different sprinkle amounts to different donuts, right? Like a madman, right? No one can stop me. But yeah, very cool. And that's now exposed. Oh, the other thing we probably want to do though, with that, this group input here, is I want to give it a different name, because density max, you know, not really that useful. I can call it sprinkle density, right? So now it's like a fully customized little node group that I can drop on any object. I could be building a car in the future and I'm like, it needs sprinkles, and I can just drop this on it and I've got a sprinkle density value for my car, right? So
That's kind of sick.
You can build something really customized for what you want, and then it's just readily accessible every time you need to use it. Awesome. Now, one issue that I will show you with this, and actually it's not specific to Geometry Nodes, but this entire time for all these videos, we've been building a donut which is too big. So if you hit N in your properties, oh, that's the polygon thing, you can see the size, the dimensions of your donut is 1.2 by 1.2 meters, which for Americans, oh, actually, yeah, you can change it.
Oh, can you?
You could, which for America is 1.2 by 1.2 meters. Which,
yeah, only 1.2 by 1.2. Definitely not anything bigger. Does it really matter how big it is, though? If, like, you can angle it properly, you're not going to be able to tell that it's actually humongous. You know what I mean? Or am I just crazy? Or is that, like, to save resources, maybe? That'd be the only thing I could think of, is that rendering maybe the bigger the object, or the smaller the object, the... I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of.
Oh, actually, yeah, you can change it. You could change your units to the wacky Imperial one. Yeah, 4 feet, right? Okay.
The wacky Imperial one, he says. All right, first off, how dare you? Second off, shut up. 3 feet. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, honestly, but sure, whatever.
Which is way too big. Okay. Now, why does it matter, right? Because, like, okay, if you're looking at this, how are you to actually know that this is 1.2 meters rather than the regular size donut? It doesn't actually matter yet, but when we get to like rendering with depth of field, or maybe you want to import other objects from other scenes, having a value that is actually true to the object will save you so much time, and it'll also make it so that your camera settings, etc., are actually correct. So that bit is very important.
Did I call that? Or did I call that? That's exactly what I was saying, brother. That's what I was saying.
So essentially, we should resize this. And really, a real donut is about 12 centimeters, which is exactly 1/10 of what we've got right here. So if we select everything.
When did this man get off of... Did you just go back to the layout, I guess? Because he's all the way, like, zoomed out like that.
In the entire scene, which you can do by just hitting A for...
Sorry, what did you say?
1/10 of what we've got right here. So if we select everything in the entire scene, which you can do by just hitting A for everything, I don't know, A for all, yeah, that makes more sense, okay? Then if we hit S to scale, okay, we're now in a scale, oh, actually, okay. Well, now it's gonna scale it and the plane is gonna be off the ground. Okay. All right, well, let's not scale the lamp and the camera. So everything else, selecting the donut, the lamp, the donut, the plane, and the sphere. Then S, and then I want to scale it by exactly 10%. Now, how could I do that? Well, if you look in the top
Wait, you fool! You fool! How you didn't tell me how to? Hold on.
Okay, we're now in a scale. Oh, actually, okay. Well, now it's going to scale it, and the plane is going to be off the ground. Okay. All right. Well, let's not scale the lamp and the camera. So everything else.
Gotcha. Well, you're kind of boning me here, dude. You're kind of boning me. All right.
Selecting the donut, the lamp, the donut, the plane, and the sphere. Then S, and then I want to scale it by exactly 10%. Now, how could I do that? Well, if you look in the top left-hand corner, you've got the values there. And if I went to 0.1, then it would be exactly a tenth of what it was. But how can I get it exactly at 0.1? Well, two things. One, if you hold down Control, when you're moving any value in Blender, it'll move it in increments, which in this case is 0.1. But you can also actually just type in the exact value you want, 0.1, and hit Enter. And now, if we look at the size of our donut, click N, hit N, you can
donut N. Oop. What? Hello? Donut N. View item. There you go.
see it's 0.12 meters or centimeters. Yeah.
0.123. That's what he wants it to be. All right. I changed it to imperial because I thought I was going to be a smart American. Now I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Big dumb idiot. Where was it? It was in here. Units. We'll switch back to metric, I guess. So it should be 0.123 for each of them. Is that what he was saying? That's how big he wants it to be? That's like tiny. That's baby size, bro. What? How do you... What? Okay. Okay. Don't panic, Chase. We might be off the ground a little bit. We might be off the ground just a little bit, all right? Okay, hold on. Hold on. I got this. I got this, dude. I got this. Watch this. Boom, right in the middle. Boom. Look at that. Nailed it. Perfect. Beautiful. Amazing. Oops. Wait, hold on. Let me render that. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Your donut, sir. And it's just this. Hell yeah. Bro, I love it. I love it. All right, let me that's so funny. All right, is that better? It's closer. I don't know if it's any better, but it's closer. I'm sure he's gonna tell me some way to do this other than what I'm doing, but I'm a stubborn little bitch. Good lord. All right, what's the y-axis? X-axis? Z. Okay. Hell yeah. God, navigating this camera is kind of a bitch and a half, though. Okay. So then I need to rotate it a little bit. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're cooking. We're cooking. Look at my little tiny donut. It's so cute. Bro, look at my tiny donut, dude. Adorable. I love it. Wait, can I maybe... Let me see. Hold on. Bro, someone who probably knows Blender is probably gonna see this and be like, what is he doing? And honestly, it's a fair question. I don't know. Help. I'm scared. I mean, that's pretty good, I think, right? Let me F12 that. Oh, dude, look at it, it's a donut! I definitely think I'm gonna need to bring it in a little bit. Can I at least make this a little bigger? Like, that just seems crazy to not have that way bigger. It's a donut, hell yeah! Sick.
Hit N, you can see it's 0.12 meters or centimeters, you know. Anyway, and that's great. But there is a problem. What you might notice, I mean, there's not a problem now, but when you change the scale or the rotation of an object, actually, it's only changed its, what do you call it? Its local scale. It hasn't actually applied it on a global level yet. So the sprinkle here and the donut have actually got a like pretend value. The scale is set at 0.2, and it's almost like it's saying to the scene, that's not its real scale. It's just been faked to be that size yet. It needs to be applied if you want to like confirm really that this is the true scale or rotation of the thing. And you do that by selecting the things and then hitting Control A and then applying scale. Okay, so now we've done that.
Wait, what?
Rotation of the thing. And you do that by selecting the things and then hitting Control A and then applying scale. Okay, so now we've done that, we can see something's changed. So our donut here,
Oz, what the fuck did this man just do?
and the donut have it's only changed its what do you call it? Its local scale. It hasn't actually applied it on a global level yet. So the sprinkle here and the donut have actually got a like pretend value. The scale is set at 0.2, and it's almost like it's saying to the scene, that's not its real scale. It's just been faked to be that size yet. It needs to be applied if you want to like confirm really that this is the true scale or rotation of the thing. And you do that by selecting the things and then hitting Control A and then applying scale. Okay, so now we've done that, we can see something's changed. So our donut here with the sprinkles has now massively changed its density count. And the reason for this is that if we go geometry nodes again, let's zoom in here. Let's look at it with this.
Bro, I can't zoom in anymore. This is the furthest I can zoom. I think I made it too small. I think I must have made it too small. Hold on. Bro, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Can I stop with that, please? Thank you. I guess I must have, like, made it too small. Okay? That's as close as I can get. It's not even letting me, like, toggle or anything. Huh. I must have made it way too small, I guess. I don't know how he got so close. File, is there an undo button? There's not. Shoot. Alright, well, can I scale this up then, at least? So I can see? Alright, whatever. I'll just do that, I guess. If that's the closest I can get, it's whatever, dude. You know? Right. Am I applying a radius? I am so confused right now, dude. Oh, cheap viewers. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Wild, dude. I don't... Alright, let's pull you back. Am I getting overwhelmed? Yes. Because I don't know why I can't see the scene.
And it's almost like it's saying to the scene, that's not its real scale. It's just been faked to be that size yet. It needs to be applied if you want to like confirm really that this is the true scale or rotation of the thing. And you do that by selecting the things and then hitting Control A and then applying scale. Okay, so now we've done that, we can see something's changed. So our donut here with this...
Bro, what did I do? I don't want to be in radius mode. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Interesting, interesting. I don't know. I don't know how to get out of this. Cursor? I think I'm gonna have to redo this because this ain't doing what I thought. All right, I'm gonna have to come back to this because I'm getting irritated. This is about how long I've been working on it normally. Let's see how far I'm into it. Am I? Hour and a half. Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right. I think that's where I'm gonna call it for today, and I'm gonna come back to this because my brain right now, let me tell you. As you get older, your brain doesn't want to learn things anymore, you know? All right, let me turn that off. Well, listen. We got some sprinkles. Pretty sick. The camera's looking at the corner of that. That's pretty sick. Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Works for me. Let's switch back to this screen. Oh, let me turn these off. There you go. All right, dudes and dudettes, I appreciate y'all so much. I know this is a pretty short stream on my behalf. But I'm going to be eating dinner here in a little bit. Thanks for learning with me. I appreciate y'all very, very much. Let me close that out. Oh, did I just close out my Twitch chat? Of course I did. There we go. Ooh, I had one whole person watching? Hell yeah. Alright, I'm gonna...
That just makes you a beta cuck.
Chat, you defended Morbius as a joke, but now the joke is you. You've morbed too close to the sun, my friend. This was your final morb. Hashtag deep hashtag Mighty Morbin Power Ranger.
Fucked up, boy. You're a Mighty Morbin Power Ranger. A Mighty Morbin Power Ranger. But yeah, so this has basically been how I've been working on it. About an hour to an hour and a half at a time, just to try to process and digest what I'm actually doing. Because every time I be making mistakes with it, not realizing that I'm somehow making mistakes. So I'll come back and I'll probably redo this whole entire section by myself later. And then, you know, we'll jump into it another time. It'll be pretty sick, dude. Pretty sick. By the way, anyone watching, we are going to be having community night Wednesday around 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We're going to be playing some Fall Guys. I need to download that again. But yeah, it's a pretty short one for me, but I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go try to digest what I just did. And have a good rest of my night before I lose it because I don't understand what I'm doing. So, you know. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm trying to think. What? Peak has an update. Oh, so there's a hotfix update. Damn, I thought they were adding new stuff. I do have a couple of scary games and stuff I do want to play sometime soon. But I was kind of trying to save those for, like, Spooktober, you know? I have Crime Scene Cleaner that I never finished either that I need to go back and finish. Yeah. There's a lot of, like... there's a lot of different games I need to go. Do I need a raid target? I mean, it wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't hurt, brother. Oh, yeah, Samurai. Yeah, he said he was going to have me tabbed. Yeah, I said hi to him earlier. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm following him. I know where he's at. All right, dudes. Well,